Okay, so I'm not trying to be all like serious today or anything, but for some reason, that's all that I wanted. That's just like what's going on in my head. I have a few issues going on in my head that I just want to tell you guys. One of them is, I guess, religious. I don't know. I don't necessarily see it as religious, but that's just because it's my view. And that would be the fact that I think God must be flawed. Okay, don't hate me. Listen here, hear me out. I'm saying this because I've never met a perfect person. I don't even know if I know what a perfect person would look like or act like. I mean, the Torah tells us, and yes, I'm Jewish, so the Torah tells us that we were all created in God's image. So no matter what religion or culture or race you belong to, that line right there would mean that God must be imperfect, right? I mean, tell me that people are perfect and show me a perfect person, and okay, maybe that's the one person who is really created in God's image. But I've never met one, so I don't think they exist. I don't think that we're meant to be perfect. I mean, wouldn't life be boring? So you have to imagine that no matter what God is to you, you should imagine a flawed creator. I mean, if you believe in science and math over religion and faith, that's fine. Could the equations that unify the universe, from subparticles to whole galaxies and grandest scale you can think of, could the equation that unifies it all really be something that shouldn't actually work? Despite all of the odds and the probability, it does. And that's why we can't pinpoint that exact equation? I think so. I mean, doesn't matter. I think that God can be math and science. In fact, that's the way that we understand what we don't, is through science and math, or faith and religion. It doesn't matter which one it is. It's still a belief, and they can work together, and you can be hardcore one way or another and believe that they aren't compatible, but I personally believe that they are. Which is why I'm not trying to say this from a religious standpoint. I'm trying to argue this from a theoretical standpoint, a philosophical standpoint. Because I don't care if, there's religions out there that believe in more than one God. And could it be that if the secret to life was easy to discover and define, then life wouldn't be interesting? Why would you want to live if it was just one day you're like, this is the reason we are alive, this is what it means, done. Boring! Boring! So, I don't know, I dare you to argue with me. I dare you. That's right, you heard me, I'm daring you. I mean, some religions might see that nature and the spark of life as a collection of various gods that either work together or fight against each other. And Judaism sees God as an all-powerful creator of mankind and the world that we live in. God created earth and animals and life. Christianity and derivations thereof see God as a father of mankind who spoke through his son, born of a virgin mother, and died for the sins and flaws of humans. Okay, that's fine. I don't care if you believe that. That's your belief. I have my belief. I'm not arguing that one belief is right over another. I'm just saying that God must be something beyond human understanding of life and physical matter. I mean, trees live, but they don't have a conscience, do they? Not that we can define. Is it that conscience that makes us feel the need to identify what we don't understand? I say probably. But it has to be more complex than that. And I'm not trying to insult anybody, saying that God isn't real or God's flawed, but that's my belief. How can God be perfect if we were created in God's image and mankind seems to be so flawed? I don't know why, but that's something that I'm just thinking about today. To me, it makes sense as to why the whole world fights against each other. If we're all the same, then we should all be equal. But somebody has to have superiority. Religion gives superiority to God, at least some religions. Other religions or cultures give superiority to nature. And to me, it's the same thing. Nature, the universe, the idea of God, science. To me, it's all the same thing. It's all just the way we explain what we can't comprehend. So, I don't know. Does that mean that God's flawed?